Chad, what does he got?
I think he's got a group. Yeah.
What is that thing in the way in the background?
That's a nice fish.
Ooh, that's a nice gag. That would have kept.
Here you go, hang on. Pull him to you.
Nice job.
Look at there.
What are you doing?
He's catching bags. Yeah, catching bags.
Well, you gotta have bait too. I thought you were putting on a heavier weight for him.
I did.
Oh.
I'm just sucking. No, it's okay. I don't want to.
Chad holding somebody else's fish. Come on, man.
Nice.
Nice job.
Thank you, Chad. That's a good fish.
Well, folks, if you can't tell, we're fishing inside the bay today. It's a real quick trip with some of Chad's co-workers. So we're out here. That was the second gag in the boat. As you know, we don't fish the bay very often, but we're out here today just doing a little fun fishing, teaching these guys how to do it. One guy's catching on, the other guy's not catching on so much. I'm just kidding. If you can't get on our boat and you can't take a ribbon, something's wrong. I lost the big one on cut bait.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Ben. Oh.
No, he's...
Yeah. Okay, open the bin. Yep. See if he'll run out of
line and see if we'll give him about 2 minutes.
Okay.
There you go. Came out.
Oh yeah, look at that. Good fish.
That's a black grouper.
Yeah, it sure is. Son of a gun, look at that.
We don't get those here. Really?
That's like a rarity.
Very it's a black grouper.
Nice fish. Okay.
Well, folks, the bay's alive, that's for sure. We just got a black grouper, got this gag grouper, we caught some red grouper. Let's see what else we can catch.
There you go. There's a fish. Once you get 5 or 6 turns, then you can take it easy. But you gotta make sure you get them off the bottom.
Just get out of the way. Nice one. That's a good one right there. Nice.
Now you're getting a growth.
Yeah.
That one was definitely would have been.
Yeah.
We're in season.
Chad, I think we can still catch fish in the bay.
I started to doubt it, but yeah, it does appear that way.
Nice.
Nice one.
Yep. I'm sucking.
There's always that one on the boat that has a hard time, but he'll get his, I can guarantee it. He'll get his. But of course, as I talk about all the time, folks, we are in the minor feeding time and it's on. Every bait down, it's on. Never leave your line unattended like I did. It's a circus.
Snapper. Yep, that's what we're supposed to be catching.
There you go.
Yeah, my last fish was real light bite too.
Yep, snapper.
Snapper. There you go. All right, folks. During this time of year, as we've discussed many times, we talk about how the bait kind of disappears, at least the white bait. And So there's a lot of thread fins around, and if you're going to use thread fins, most of you probably know that thread fins don't last very long in the live well unless you put a few amount in there. Like we've still got a bunch swimming around, but if you try to overfill your live well with them, they're going to die. They're not very hardy bait fish, but they make great cut bait because they're stinky and they give off a great scent for these fish. So we use them a lot for cut bait. And today we struggled catching whitebait. We only caught a couple of whitebait, to be honest with you. We went to a couple of different flats and it just didn't work. What?
You don't tell them what it tastes like?
No.
No?
No. Why don't you tell them?
I did earlier. I licked my finger on accident.
Oh, did you really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I did.
That's brutal. So anyway, if you're going to use cut bait, you're going to go through a lot of cut bait. And the neat thing that we offer is the bucket bait cutter. This allows you to, see, I lost my bait that fast. This allows you to cut bait very quickly, and once you cut it, you just slide it and it dumps right into your bucket. And so you have a lot of cut bait readily available, so you don't have to sit there and cut one by one, one by one, one by one. And if you want to chum with it, you can chum with it. So utilizing that tool, we've sold a lot of them and they work great. And if we got the bucket bait cutter, and then we have the regular bait cutter, so you can choose which one you want, but they both work great. Oh, Dave, get him! Oh! So what I did, folks, is I dropped down to a quarter. That tide is starting to slack off some. And I get the question a lot, especially fishing inside Tampa Bay, is when do you know when to start dropping in weight? And it's when you can tell that the tide is starting to slow up. I start dropping. I went from a 1 1/4 to a quarter, to be honest with you. And that light jig will help get some of those bigger ones. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So I'm just feeding it out line until I feel them take off. And I'm using a 1/4 inch flat smasher, which you can use a 1/4 inch or 1/4 ounce huggy jig, flat smasher, stewie jig. It really doesn't matter, just as long as it has that right weight to it. You just kind of gave up.
Started off like a big one.
Mm-hmm. Taking the huggy, piece of cut thread fin, right through the back just like that. It's ready to go. I think we're getting right out of the minor, and during the minor they were eating everything. Cut bait, live thread fins, live pinfish, and they were on fire. I mean, as soon as it got to the bottom, they were on. And then they've kind of shut off. That one I just caught, but for them, it's shut off for them. So I know the boat hasn't adjusted any, but we're out of that minor feeding time right now, so that may have a lot to do with it. It's crazy. The guys I had on the boat yesterday were asking me about, you know, what affects these salooners, what makes the salooners happen. And, you know, I explained to them the moon rising, the moon setting is the minors, the moon overhead, the moon underneath are the majors. So we just had, I'm pretty sure we had during the minor, we had there's the moon over there. So that moon's rising, so you get that hour feeding time, and it could be like it was for us. Every bait down was getting just hammered. And now you kind of got to finesse it to get them to eat. I'm hoping as the tide slows down that that we can get them to eat again. Or we might have to move simply because they're on to us. Okay folks, what I wanted to show you was what we were looking at on the side imaging. You can see there's an edge of the ledge, or the ledge is here and ledge is here, so it's off to each side of us right now because we're actually almost due north in our heading because the tide is slowing down. It's going this way, the wind is coming out of the west, so we're kind of set up just like this. Let me go ahead and show you what we're seeing on the other screens. No, let me go back. So here's another screen. You can tell we're right in 35 feet of water. You can see there's snapper up in the water column, which is, you don't see that a lot inside the bay, but I have been seeing that the last few times I fished as a big giant ship goes by. I have been seeing shows of fish like this, so that's a good sign. We've caught a lot of fish. We've missed a lot of fish. We've caught the rare red or black grouper, we've caught red grouper, we've caught gag grouper, we've caught snapper. So we've caught a lot of different species, and the bite is still pretty good. The snapper bite is just crazy. It's as fast as you can get it down there. Bam, 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 bam. They're on it, and we're outside of a minor or a major. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to show you. Let me show you on the screen the Navionics. Zoom in here and you can see we're right on the edge of this ledge, and you can see how the boat's going back and forth. That's because how the tide is starting to slow up, the wind's starting to pick up, so the boat is adjusting with that. So you see that, but this is the edge of the channel right here. So we have a ton of spots in this area, and we may go fish those, see what we can do, but the bite's been pretty good here, so we're going to continue to fish here and see if we can't catch any more. But I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at. You know, if you have the Navionics relief shading, it's a huge benefit for you to have that, especially inside the bay, because it's going to give you so much options to go and fish that you won't even know where to start. So utilizing your technology is key. Take what they're giving you, use it, understand it though. You've got to understand what you're looking at. That's why we do what we do, is we try to help you guys get an understanding of exactly what we're looking at. So I'm going to get back to fishing, see if we can't catch any more. Is it starting to slack off a little bit, Chad?
I got a live bait on.
Oh, you got a live bait on. They've been heavily keyed in on cut bait. So anyway, let's get back to fishing.
He's tight. Is he really?
Lead on him.
Really get the info on? There's info on it. Yeah, there's the 800 number. What are you supposed to do? Clip it or pull it or no? Just take the information. So he's strongly running.
I put him on fish. But I can't. I can lead him to water, but you can't make him. You can't get him to drink.
That's when you know you're good.
I've got low expectations.
You need to do that, David.
So
Don't wait for him to bite him. Just catch him. Just catch him.
Chad's famous for that. He catches a lot of fish not in the mouth. At least once a trip he does.
At least.
At least.
So for one day he'll even be big enough to maybe make a sandwich out of it. Mangrove. there, look at there. One of each species.